The feelings surrounding money. Money evokes intense emotions. For many, it evokes mixed emotions, a desire for the protection and comfort it provides, as well as a fear that wealth will jeopardize one's integrity. The wealthy villains are frequently portrayed in the media, rarely as heroes. When was the last time you saw a wealthy character in a movie or television show portrayed as truly good in religious communities? Misquotes abound. A common misconception is that money is the cause of all evil. The right message, of course, is that the love of money is the source of all evil. That is an important distinction. The fixation with wealth, rather than its ownership, leads one astray. When money overshadows values, relationships, or purpose, striving for more in the proper way. Consider this. If you have the ability to do better, shouldn't you strive for your best level of contribution in the time you devote to work? Knowing you've done your best with what you have brings a sense of genuine fulfillment. Less than that often results in long-term discontent. We are naturally self-starters. Nature provides us with raw materials, the ground, the sun, and the seasons, and something within us wonders, what can I make of this? What can I build while I am here? So why hesitate when it comes to wealth? It is simply another realm in which you can fully show your potential, energy, creativity, and intelligence. This includes your financial life. That's not greed, it's life calling you onward. Wise people recognize that how much you make is not the most important factor. What matters most is what you do with what you've got. Foundations of financial wisdom, the subject of maximizing your abilities and utilizing money wisely, is central to George Clayson's classic book, The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a brief but impactful read. I like to think of it as a foundational course in financial independence, a prelude to the more involved adventure of creating long-term wealth. What we do with our riches reveals a great deal about us. Our financial decisions reflect our attitudes, values, and sense of responsibility. There is a saying, your acts are so loud I can't hear your words. Everything on the outer represents what's on the inside, symptoms and indications. Have a look at your life. Are there any warning signs? If you're living beyond your means, even marginally, you could be quietly undermining your future. Every new credit purchase, every lifestyle spend that exceeds your income is a clue. Treat these as indications that something has to change, rather than as a source of shame. I once informed a mentor, if I had more money, I would create a better financial plan. He glanced at me and remarked, if you had a better plan, you'd most likely have more money. That stayed with me. It is not about how much money you make, but about how well you handle it. Understanding real money. When was the last time somebody explained how money works? Not in theory, but in actuality. We frequently graduate with degrees and honors, but no knowledge of personal finance, doctors, lawyers, or business executives. Many people are financially confused because no one has taught them the fundamentals. We must begin with how money is split, not earned, but allotted. The reality of taxation. It may seem strange to start a discussion about wealth creation with taxes, but that is where it begins. Every dollar we spend carries tax repercussions. Even a child purchasing a candy bar becomes a taxpayer at 6 cents on the dollar. That is their first lesson on economics. Use this opportunity to explain them why the tax exists and where it goes. It supports roads, safety, and public services, which no one person can achieve alone. That is why we all contribute together. Taxes fund society's infrastructure, and recognizing this is essential for being a responsible citizen. My mentor missed the show taught me to be a joyful taxpayer. That did not happen overnight, but I made it there. I realized that paying fair taxes is an important component of preserving freedom and opportunity. I even learned to think of it as feeding the goose that lays the golden eggs, or the 70-30 idea. After paying taxes, the next step is to learn to survive on 70% of the remaining 30%. That is where your future is created. Divide that 30% into 3 parts. One suggestion is to set aside 10% of your income for charitable purposes, whether through your church, community, or straight to those in need. This is a method to give back to children by teaching them at an early age. It's easier to part with a cent now than with $100,000 later in life. Generosity thrives on little soil. 2. Investment. Another 10% should be utilized to create money by buying, building, improving, and selling. Even part-time activities are important. Start a modest business and use your abilities. Buy something wholesale and sell. At retail, the goal is not just to get a job, but to improve your fortune. 3. The remaining 10% is saved for reserves, which act as a safety net. Emergencies, slack seasons, and unexpected opportunities. This cushion provides peace of mind, and with compounding and tax-sheltered accounts, it has the potential to quietly build into something amazing over time. Children learn best through hands-on experiences. Don't simply give them allowance. Teach kids how to make money, how to budget, and how to think creatively. Allow them to rent out a bicycle, sell anything, door to door, save money for their own tiny project. Soap sales and lemonade stores are effective ways to teach business skills. These early teachings impact their long-term attitudes on money. Teach them not to eat their seed, how to save capital, reinvest, and think long-term, and how to enjoy giving and saving once these habits are established. Adjusting course might last a lifetime. Perhaps you didn't receive this type of counsel growing up. Perhaps you aren't where you want to be financially. That does not imply you are stuck. It just signifies you require a new direction. Even spacecraft make mid-course corrections to change their path. That is part of the trip. If you've gotten off track, it's never too late to change course. Let us aspire for a new model. Grandparents who do not say, "I need help," but instead say, "Let me help you." Knowing where you stand is a valuable legacy to develop. Mr. Schott once inquired whether I had a financial statement. I did not. So he showed me how to create a list with everything you possess on one side and everything you owe on the other. Then subtract the debts from the assets. That is your net worth. It does not define your character, but it provides a starting point. Tracking income and expenses is not glamorous, but it is quite effective. Don't allow yourself say, "I'm not sure where it all goes." Know where it goes. Own your numbers. This is how you get control. You can earn $10,000, 0 cents each month, and still be broke if you spend $11, 0 cents. It is not about income, but about stewardship. Your attitude matters. I used to say that I hated paying taxes. I detest bills. I used to despise giving money away. But now I enjoy paying taxes. It indicates I support liberty. I enjoy paying off debt. It means I'm gaining independence. I enjoy spending sensibly because it supports a strong economy. That transformation from hatred to love altered everything. Even paying off a car loan may be a joyous experience when seen through the appropriate lens.